Hey guys, this is Twisted Conversations. I'm Jason,
I'm Dylan.
and let's get into this thing.
All right, we got a co-host. We got Stephen Gibbs. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Stephen Gibbs. Many of you know me out there as Sexy Steve of the Top Notch Wrestling Alliance, one half of the world's sexiest entertainers. We have our own, I'm a co host of a podcast myself, the world's sexiest podcast, and drummer for the band Eve of Echoes. Thank you guys for having me here today.
I'm glad you're here. I want to know where did you get the information that you're the sexiest?
It's just, it was unanimous. You know, we put out flyers and stuff, and people wrote like, "Who's the sexiest people you can find?" And me and Dale were on top of it every time.
I love it.
But where'd you put these posters? I never saw them.
Oh, I mean, it was a while back. I mean, it wasn't like recent or anything. Because I mean, we've been the world's sexiest entertainers since like 20, I don't know, probably 2016, if we're being honest. It's been a while.
It's debatable. All right. Tell us about your podcast. Tell us about your podcast. How long you been doing your podcast?
Okay, we just recently had our 100th episode last Tuesday, I believe it was. We drop every Tuesday. So I mean, we're going on close to 2 years. I think we started last New Year's. So I mean, we talk about a lot of things. We talk about video games, talk about just life, things that are going on, stuff we do with wrestling, stuff we do with the band, local events we're a part of. Like we had a Snowbiz flavor named the WSE after us there for a hot minute. It was a limited run, but I mean, we like getting out there with the community, like doing different things to bring up small businesses, stuff like that.
That's cool. Where else can we find the podcast? Is it just on Spotify or is it on anything else?
I believe it was on. I think it was on the Apple Podcast there for a while. I'm not sure if it's still on there or not, but primarily we do Spotify.
Sweet, sweet. All right, Jason. What about you, buddy?
All I do is every once in a while I'll stream on Twitch. Every once in a while, then I also help ref at the TWA that Sexy Steve also mentioned. But that's about it, really. Play games all the time. Yeah, work.
Okay, cool.
What about you?
Work all the time. I'm gone a month at a time, but I'm home for a month. It's pretty nice. Only working 6 months out of the year.
I bet it has to be.
Yeah, it's quite nice actually. I ain't trying to brag, but yeah, let's go ahead and
But you
cut
also
into
work
this.
a dangerous job, so that makes sense.
Yeah. I ain't gonna mention anything company wise, but
Yeah, I don't blame you.
yeah, I'm a jack of all trades. I've done everything from first responder to I don't know, just about anything. I've done it. But anyway, yeah, let's cut into this. This is our pilot episode, Twisted Conversations. This is going to be about gaming, and all three of us, we game a lot.
Quite often,
A-
honestly.
Yeah, a good bit. And I want to start out. It's like, what games got you all started? I'll start with you. Go ahead.
In all honesty, I started on the PS1. I started playing Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. That's my first few games.
Really?
Yeah. What about you?
I played a good bit of Spyro. I started out playing mainly for the PS1. I was on the Game Boy Color back when like they had the plug-in light on the side.
Dang, I only had one Game Boy back in the day.
I had that, and then I had the SP. I got it for Christmas, like way back. It was early 2000s when it first came out. I don't have the dates when it come out, but it had the light built in the screen, so that was like game breaking at the time.
The first portable gaming device I had was a DS back in the day.
See, same. That was the first one I had. I remember in like, I think it was like grade school. Whenever
Yeah.
we went to school together, they had that big like end of the year, like, oh, you had perfect attendance. Here, you can win a prize, you know. And I never won anything. And
Right.
that one day, they're like, Steven. I'm like, oh, okay. And I go up there, it's a freaking DS. Like I was stoked.
Yeah. I started out on a hand-me-down Game Boy Color. It was purple, see-through, and now it comes to bite me. But I used to have like all the OG Pokemons. I have none of them now. Don't know where they went. But the two games that I like absolutely loved on Game Boy was Donkey Kong World and Evil Knievel, and it was like 2D Mario style back and forth, and all you did was keep yourself upright on a motorcycle and go over ramps. That's all. That's all it was.
Really, I was wondering how they made Evil Knievel into a video game. That made no sense to me.
I
for a
actually
second.
have it. It's not here because I just moved into this place, but I still have it, and I have my original Game Boy.
That's insane. Like I have a Pokemon Sapphire and a Pokemon Ruby on Game Boy somewhere. Just they're not in best condition, so they're not really worth much. I think
Right.
$50 at most.
Well, I wouldn't be getting rid of them.
Same, because I mean they still work last time I tested them, so that's all that matters to me.
Yeah, and then after the Game Boys, I played PS1 briefly. I remember Driver 1 and 2 was elite at the time.
What was it? I remember. I think it was PS1. It was like Driver. You are the wheelman, and you're stuck in that parking garage and like.
Oh yeah,
Do all this thing. Do like a U-turn. Do this.
you
and
had
You're
you had
like
a,
8 years old. You're like, I don't know what this stuff is.
you had a
man.
series of events you had to do like in a time frame. Like you had
Yeah.
to do like a figure eight and
Before
like
you can even start the game. Like that was a tutorial
Yeah.
with no explanation on what to do at all.
yeah. And to this day, I couldn't tell you a single mission on that
Dude,
game.
Me neither.
I
remember-
just drove around.
I did. There's two. There was what was it? It was San Francisco and Miami were the only two maps you had until you
Yeah.
get the police on you.
And then you could do Driver 2, you could go to like Havana, and then there was like Las Vegas, but I never made it there
Yeah.
because I never beat the game.
I don't even know if I've played Driver 2 to be honest.
Driver 2 had 2 discs. Like you had to take when you got to a certain part of the game, you had to use the second disc, I believe. I never got to that second disc.
The I think the old I could be wrong, but I think the old Silent Hill games did that too on PS1. It may not be Silent Hill, but I remember Dale had it.
Wasn't Final Fantasy was?
It may have been Final
I wasn't
Fantasy,
big into Final Fantasy, but I'm kind of feeling it was.
I could not.
I'd
get
have to
into
look back and check
turn-based
on that.
gaming at all. Like
Yeah.
I hated the whole like you hit me, I wait, I hit you concept.
Right.
Like any like Kingdom Hearts, like it was fun to watch, like story wise, but
Yeah.
like, gameplay cannot get into.
I couldn't play them either. Gaming wise, everything I play is realism. You know, like it's hard for me to get into stuff that's not real.
That's fair. I really liked the South Park games, Stick of Truth and the Fractured Butthole. That's like I love those turn-based games, but that's as far as I went on turn-based games.
See, I like Stick of Truth. The second one, I played it. I never beat it, but I got halfway through it. But I didn't like the block style they introduced. I liked the first version, and I
Yeah.
thought the story was brilliant. It was like just watching the show.
It was. The first one was the best one of all. I've not played the newest one. It doesn't intrigue me
Snow
whatsoever.
Day?
Yeah.
Snow Day, I felt was such a gimmick and a letdown. It looked beautiful. I really liked it. Steven, you played it. We played it.
Yeah, we
we
played it
beat it in like a
tons.
day.
Yeah, it was fun, but like it was so short, and I hated how like everything reset. Like you beat mission 1, you go through play maybe like what it was like an hour and a half per mission.
Yeah. There was like 5 or it was like 8 missions or something like
Yeah,
that.
and then you build it up like building all your stats, and then as soon as you get to level 2, like you have to start fresh again. So,
Yep.
I mean, it was a fun little game, but there was just I expected way more content with it.
Well, I did when they tried to rope you in on a season pass, and I'd buy
Yeah.
the season pass when the game was 30, and I paid 50 for it,
Yeah.
and never got any other content. I don't believe we got any more content. I'd
I-
have to go back and look, but
I remember they dropped the I think it was the Henrietta missions or like the side things, but I don't think there was actual like this is a brand new DLC for it or anything like that. I
Right.
don't think they added that.
I feel like that game was kind of rushed, and it was just released way too early because I felt like they could have really went all out with an open world, and I liked where they were going, but I don't like the end game.
I don't like that they made it 3D. I wish they would have just kept the original animation on it. That's the only thing I really hated on it. Really,
Really, you didn't like the 3D, or you did?
I did not like the 3D.
You
I
didn't?
I loved the regular like where it
I
looked like
got
a TV
you.
show.
I got you. It was something different. I thought it was cool in that aspect.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool that it's multiplayer. I didn't play it, so I can't say too much about it. So
Right.
I will say, have you played the I think it was like the South Park Rally game on like N64 and like they had older 3D games and they looked terrible.
I remember the one. It was like I can't remember. It was like I want to say it was like a snow day or something like that. But you could like have snowball fights.
Yeah, and like you had to like shoot the turkeys
And
and
you
stuff.
could, you could like pee in the snow.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like it was fun, but like compared to the older 3D ones, I mean, this one's obviously a lot better. But
Yeah.
I'm kind of with Jason on it. Like just the 2D, it was just like you're playing the show.
Yeah.
That's what I really liked about it.
Yeah. I really like that aspect.
I really liked. I think it's the first one when you get plastic surgery and make yourself look like a David Hasselhoff.
yeah.
That one cracked me up. I loved it.
Yeah. That was fun.
It's hilarious.
But to rope it back, talking about back to what we grew up with playing wise, after the PS2, that had such a strong foothold in gaming, And just recently, I watched a video like a couple days ago, but I guess they re-updated the cells on the console, and I believe it still sold the most units out of any console. And it come out October 26th, 2000. I believe that was the Japan release, and then it was like 2 months later it dropped in America, I believe. But as of March 29th, 2024, it's dropped 160 million units.
That's insane. I still have my original PS2, PS2 Slim, and PS1. I'm kind of a collector when it comes to PlayStation and stuff, except the only thing that's eluding me so far is PSP.
Well, to get into PSP, I just recently bought a PSP again.
Again?
I bought one again. I got it on eBay, and it had homebrew on it, and it had like preloaded games.
Nice.
And it the thing about PSPs is I've noticed is like the batteries on them. They're not as good as they used to be. They're so old. But I'm gonna have to try to find a better battery for it. But you don't realize how hard of a strain them things have on your eyes until you are over the hills. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
once you're over 20, it's like looking at a little tiny square, and it's really hard on the eyes. And when I was in high school and middle school playing it, it didn't bother me. Now it's like I can't play it very long.
Yeah, I was gonna say, anytime you would see Dylan in school, like it would just PSP. No
Yep.
matter what we were doing, like we
Yep.
could be in class, we could be in like recess or
Yeah.
whatever it was. Dylan sitting there with a PSP all
Like-
times.
Like growing up, like I never had a new console. Like the only thing new I ever had, brand new out of the box, was a PlayStation 3, and everything I had was hand me downs. And I had a PS2 with like a bunch of games at the time, and I just got bored with it. And my neighbor had a PSP, and I traded him. And everybody told me it was a bad trade, but I got a lot more use out of that PSP. I discovered it had internet capabilities. I could download all kinds of stuff like movies on there, and it was just a really neat little console, and you could hold so much music on them thing, and it doubled as an MP3 player. I listened to more music on it than I did playing games. But like, I played a lot of the MLB The Show on it. They had 2 GTA titles, Liberty City Stories, Vice City Stories. Those were fun.
Great games. I love them.
Yep, and I have both of them. I
Really?
just acquired them again. Yeah,
Heck
and
yeah.
SOCOM. I can't.
Now, what is that game? I've never heard of it.
SOCOM, it was like a group. You were like a platoon, and like you would go in and do like special missions together.
Hmm.
And it was really neat for the time. SOCOM got huge, but I don't think SOCOM is as big as it used to be. Like a lot of people got really invested in SOCOM.
I also never played it. Was it like a over the head like tactical game? Had,
Yeah, like you would command like
Starfield and
where
stuff?
you would put your people like moving into
Yeah.
a map and eliminate your enemy type
I
thing.
always remember seeing it in stores, but I never played it. I was like, yeah, it looks neat.
Yeah.
Like, back then, dude, I was on like the big Medal of Honor kick.
And I know it was real big on PSP. I never played it. Was that Little Big World? That was a big one for the PSP at the time.
I never played that either, honestly. But I was actually going to mention Medal of Honor. I grew up playing on, I think, was it PS2? Yeah, PS2. I remember, I don't know which one it was, but I think it's like a,
Well, I can tell you. I'll tell you the Need for Speeds when they come out on the PSP was like perfect
I
for the
didn't really.
time.
I got into Need for Speed Burnout. That's the only one. It was like
That
a
was a fun
Demolition
one.
Derby type.
That was a
one.
fun one.
I didn't really care for Underground or Underground 2. I never played them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, those are so big on PS2.
I know. Like you'd think that'd be like the one to go to, but I was like, yeah, this looks cool. I mean, because the cover, the car is like flipping in midair and stuff. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, that looks cool. Why not?
Yeah, the what was that? Burnout Paradise? Was that what it was called?
And I think it was Revenge. I think it was Burnout Revenge.
Well, I think the Burnout was just it wasn't even Need for Speed. That was
was it
just,
not?
yeah, I think it was like Burnout Paradise.
Okay,
Yeah,
now that I think
because
of
it
it-
played Paradise City by Guns N' Roses with a menu. I had it.
Yeah. Now that I think about, I don't think I've ever played the Need for Speed games on PlayStation 2.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't think I
You
have.
never. Okay, I'll tell you what I played more than Need for Speed was the Midnight Clubs Rockstar made. They've
Never
kind of
played 'em.
went away from them. They don't make them anymore.
Never
But
played. 'em.
the dub edition, oh my gosh, that was awesome. It had so many cars on it, you could just play for hours.
yeah, I've never played the Need for Speed games. Like I said, I mainly went after like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, GTA, stuff like that back on PS2.
They took the Spyros and they did that Reignited trilogy thing I seen. I played it briefly with a wife. She grew up playing Spyro. I played a little bit on PS1.
They also redid Crash Bandicoot too.
Yeah.
They made a new well, not new, but revamped it.
Dude,
It's really good.
they're doing all these remasters. Like Tomb Raider got a remaster.
I was happy about that. I love Tomb Raider.
And a lot of people kind of doo-dooed on it a little bit. Was the GTA trilogy? They remapped it, and
Really?
remastered it. Yeah, it looks a little bit better on the eyes. But like when we were kids and that stuff was out, it was like big deal. I mean,
That stuff
really,
was
we shouldn't have
amazing
been. We
back
shouldn't
then.
have been playing it.
No, but I mean, like San Andreas was the best one back when I was younger, to me, anyways.
Well, yeah. I mean, the map looked so freaking huge
Like,
at the time, and then
yeah.
now you look at it now, and it's like it's so tiny.
Yeah, what kills me is like back then we're like, oh, this is huge. I mean, like say San Andreas, for example, you have like the desert area, you got the woods over there, country.
Well,
the
then you got
cities.
like the map. What was it? See, Las Venturas. It was like Las Vegas, and then it
Mhm.
went into the San Francisco area,
Yeah,
and then
like-
it went down to Los Angeles.
Like it was so cool how they did so much, but like if looking back, they had so little to work with.
Well, yeah. Now it's like when they did the remastered trilogy, they really failed on not realizing on the PS2 that they had the draw distances. They had to use fog.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you looked in the newer one, when you're way up in the air, you'd see the whole map, like just
Yeah.
barely being in the air. And it was like, this map was that small at that time. And I don't know the whole story, but the Grove Street Games that was like working on that wasn't doing what they were supposed to, which I don't know the whole story on it. But Rockstar just recently did a new update on all three of them. And I just recently played the San Andreas again, and it has the fog, and it has like the orange tint to it. And you can do a classic mode lighting, and
Oh,
it
that's
takes
sweet.
away, so when you're in air, you ain't seeing way across the map. So it looks kind of OG again, which I think is cool.
See, I played a lot of Vice City, like mostly for the soundtrack. Vice City,
Vice
was
City
my
soundtrack
jam.
was on top of its game at the time. I mean, you load in Billie Jean by Michael Jackson's
Yeah, dude.
playing. I
Like-
mean, you can't beat it.
Quiet Riot, like you
Yeah.
had everything.
V-Rock.
B-Rock.
V-Rock
Freaking who
Radio.
was it? Who was on the Emotion? Fernando.
Yeah,
That
Fernando, and then you had Laszlo.
Laszlo.
Classic. And you don't understand, the guy who voiced Laszlo was in like every Rockstar title.
Mhm.
You don't realize it. And then
Was he as Laszlo, or was he just different?
he was just different people. And he's been with them from like to the end. And then he just like GTA 5, he just got like an in-person look. You know what I mean? Like you've seen him for the first time in person in the game. But from what I understand, I think he left. I think he left Rockstar, I believe. So I don't know if we'll see him in GTA 6 or not.
Hopefully we do, because GTA 6 is going to be amazing whenever they finally release it. I'm so pumped for it.
Well, we're looking for a fall 2025 release. Let's hope.
Let's hope it's not like 2026 then. Like, going to be released in 2026.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to push it back. I believe they'll never come out and say it, but I think COVID 2021, 2020, I think really pushed that game back.
I didn't even think about that. That's a
Because
really
between
good
4 and
possibility.
5, it was 5 years. 2013 is when the game come out. GTA 5 did. 2011, it had a trailer.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
And we was in, what was we in, like 11th grade? Or
What
10th grade?
What year did you say?
I think it was
2013?
2011 when they announced it and they had a trailer for it
11.
for
We
the
would
first
have
time.
been freshmen. Was it the beginning of beginning of 2011? We were freshmen.
It's funny when it come out, it spread like wildfire in the school, and at that time, a lot of
Mhm.
people just didn't carry phones. Like, people are so plugged in today
Yeah,
compared to over a decade ago. I mean, when we were in school, we didn't worry about cell phones.
making me feel old, Dylan.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm about to make you guys feel even older. You said it released in 2013.
Yeah.
I will have been 12.
I was a senior. I was a senior when it come out, and I'm telling you what, I've never just fake sick to go home to play a video game. And there was only
Yep.
2 times, and it was Skyrim and GTA 5.
Skyrim. We both missed Skyrim
Yeah,
Day. I
yeah.
remember that.
Yep. I never was real big into Oblivion, but when Skyrim come out, I really got into Skyrim. And then,
Those are like dragons and everything. I'm like, yeah, dude, Mom, I'm sick. I don't
Yeah,
know, because
yeah.
Dale bought it the night before.
Yep.
He used to work at our local grocery store here,
yeah.
and he would always pick up stuff for me whenever they had midnight releases. That's whenever they were like 24-hour Walmarts too.
GTA 5, that was the last midnight release I've attended.
I've never been to one.
This is what I'm having planned with GTA 6. I'm going to buy the digital title,
Mhm.
and then for my PlayStation 5, I'm going to get the disc. And I'm going to try to go to GameStop and enjoy midnight release. I'm thinking it's going to be good.
Hopefully.
And it's a sad thing, and we'll get into it later, but it's like digital versus physical. And it's ruined the magic I think, in games.
It really has, because you no longer have that resale value if you wanted to get rid of the game ever. You just have to just delete it and that's it. You lose your money.
Right. And yeah, they can take it away from you instantly. And personally, I mean, I'm guilty of it. I have a lot of digital titles, but I like physical. I like the case in my hand,
See, I'm the same.
and it's good. You know, you put it on a shelf, you can go back and get it whenever.
Yeah, I
but
mean, you've seen my living room. How many like random like cartridges and discs do I
Yeah,
have? Like,
yeah.
digital is good for convenience. Like, say if you just want to like load up a game, you don't want to get up, but it takes up all of your storage.
And I think digital really took off during the pandemic because people didn't want to go to stores, so they could just buy games digitally. And it's helped, but it's a curse at the same time, in my opinion.
It's definitely really helped. Just like you said, you don't have to go to the store. You can just hold, like, keep it at home. But that's why I'm happy. I still have all the PS1 and PS2 games. So if I do want to somehow go back and not, I don't have to go to like the streaming services that PlayStation allows and gives you. I
Right.
can just pull out the digital copy and boot up my old PS2 and play if I wanted to.
See, I do PC. I have an Xbox. I have a PlayStation. Just recently got a Switch again that my kid and my wife like playing.
Switches
And
are fun. I like them.
yeah, I don't go too crazy. I never was real crazy into the Nintendo world, but there's
Same.
some good titles.
I mainly
And
play the new Pokemons on them. That's about it.
I haven't played any of the new Pokemons. The last time I played a Pokemon was on Game Boy. That's the last time I've touched a Pokemon game.
It's definitely changed now. It's open world and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Pretty
I've one of my buddies. He'll probably be on here in like a future episode. He plays the Switch, and we used to work together. I used to watch him play. It was like Pokemon Sword or something like
Yeah.
Shield, something like that. It looked kind of cool, but I'm just not real big into Pokemon, so I'm not
That's
going to be
understandable.
dying to go out and buy a Pokemon title.
Yeah, I haven't bought one for a good while. I'm just grown out of it. You know how it is.
But yeah, we're going back. I don't know. We'll get back to we were talking about GTA. That come out September 17th, 2013. That was our senior year. That come out. And as of right now, when I looked, it was like a stat website. It sold 205 million copies. It's the most
Jeez.
all-time best-selling game. And as of right now, it's over a decade old,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and the online's still going crazy.
See, like it gets to the point with the online. It's just like how much more could they throw in? And but they did pretty well in my opinion because like
Yeah.
we had the bunker updates. We had what was the flying bike that everyone has that like shoots missiles?
Oh my gosh. I can't even think of the name of that
Yeah,
thing.
like they've been adding tons fairly regularly. Like they had the where you can steal the cars and stuff, like the warehouses, the VIP
Yeah.
stuff. Like they've
See,
consistently added.
I think like the last update I enjoyed on there was when they did the car update. They did like the Benny's custom. You could do like
Yeah.
a lowriders because I'm realism. When they did the flying bike, I'm like I'm not for it.
Or they have the one that kind of looks like a Batmobile.
Yeah, yeah. Which I thought
I
it
mean,
was cool. It was
it's
like a little
cool.
rocket car.
It's cool, but like at the same time, like I'm more of a realism guy myself
Yeah.
too.
And of course, we've never been really known to do heists on there, which everybody likes to do.
I didn't even beat the story mode. It's been like 12
You've not beat the
It's
story
been
mode.
10 years and I have not beat GTA
So
5.
I beat the story mode as soon as it come out on the
Same.
PlayStation 3, and really the only reason I had a PlayStation 3 at the time is because I was broke and didn't want to pay for Xbox Live. But yeah, the online it come out October 1st. Like it was just the very next month, and it's just been rampant and going strong. Which I think in GTA 6 it's going to be even crazier. But
See, I never started playing the online game version of it until I met you guys. Cause actually, I just realized I never did play with you guys. I started playing games with our buddy Alex and a couple of my coworkers. Because where you guys are on Xbox and on PlayStation.
how long we've been playing together now, Jason? Or like that I've known you? It's been about 4 years, ain't it?
Yeah, it's been close
Four
to 4
to
years.
5 years.
Yeah, because
Steven?
I've known Steven for a good while now.
Steven, I've known him for like at least 25, you know, ever
25?
since like kindergarten.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute.
Showing
and
our age here, Dylan. Showing
Now
our age.
now we've been out of school for 10 years.
10 years.
Need
We
to-
still haven't had
We need
a,
to get our 10-year reunion going.
Yeah, we really do.
And but anyway, the realism part that I stick with GTA was like we never did the heist or anything. We always just did like land races, and they did the stunt
Yeah.
races. Those come out with the loops and the rolls.
Dude, I love the stunt races.
The stunt races are awesome.
Sumo is fun.
Sumo's fun.
For those of you who don't know, like, okay, stunt races, it's like street racing, but people can make custom maps, and like some of them get pretty crazy. But sumo is basically like you have a platform like on top of the building, and you and maybe 16 other people, like it can be
Mhm.
up to 16, are all trying to shove each other off a rooftop, and
Yeah.
it gets
Just
gets
going to
so
each
intense.
little zone.
Yeah.
It gets heated.
Oh, it does.
It gets
Dude.
heated. I've never seen people get so mad until they play
About like
sumo.
a car game on a rooftop.
Yep. And back to the land races. Heck, we've been doing that for good
Years.
5 years, and then
Yeah.
we met our good buddy Bubbler. I
Mhm.
won't that's his name, but
Bubbler.
I'm not going to mention his real name on here.
Dude,
I didn't exactly get permission.
I think if we hang out with him, like I'd still call him Bubbler to his face.
Oh yeah, for
Like-
sure. It was contact my phone is Bubbler.
Me too, and his gamer picture
Yeah.
too. It's Bubbler.
Yeah.
Like, what can you do?
Down there in Denison, Texas.
Yeah,
Such a great guy.
Oh, that kills me. The story behind that, just every time he tells it, I can't
But
stop laughing.
we've met so many people, played with so many people on there. But yeah, he's the one.
Yeah, we had who was it? Nighthawk there for a minute.
Nighthawk. We played with Nighthawk. I haven't seen him in years.
I think I'm still friends with him, but
I'm still friends
him
with him.
ages.
He seems like he watches a lot of Hulu and stuff. But yeah,
Ages.
it's probably been since 2018 since we played with him. But
Our buddy Clayton, we used to play
Yeah.
with, but he never plays with us.
Yeah. He's busy working on leg day every day.
Yeah, every day of his life. You got to get those games.
Kudos to him though.
And our buddy Jordan, who never hops on anymore.
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
We're not trying to shoot shots here, guys. We promise.
But yeah, growing up with gaming, what is some of your like favorite games? Like, what do you all play? Starting out with you, Steven.
Growing up with gaming, I mean, here's the thing. When I started young, like Dale had an old like NES, so he let me play Mario and stuff. And then we got into the PS1. We used to play SmackDown 2, Know Your Role. We used to play tons of that. Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Driver, different things.
Right.
And then I went to the PS2, which PS2 had such a huge category of games. It's hard to pick out like, I love these.
It had
the
a
most.
massive catalog. It was making games till like 2009.
Yeah, like,
I think
it's
13. I think was the last time I had a game. It was a soccer game.
Really?
Yes.
2013? That long?
Yes, I believe it was around 2013. It was a soccer game. It was a FIFA, I think. That was like the last game that was legit released.
Yeah, but then I went over to Xbox 360. That's when like Halo 3 was big because I was just like, yeah, Halo,
Yeah.
So I played that, stayed with Xbox ever since. Went to
Yeah.
the Xbox One, Series X. Now.
That was a big reason everybody went to Xbox was Halo. I
Yeah.
never got into Halo. I played the newer one multiplayer with you. How long ago was that?
I think it was last year
It
sometime.
was Game Pass. That's the only
Yeah.
reason I picked it up.
Dude, Halo 3, like in its heyday, was like the most fun thing in the world because they always did 4v4s. I mean, you have the
Right.
big sandboxes every now and then,
Right.
but the 4v4s were amazing. Especially like if you're doing like not necessarily LAN parties, but like split screening where you're all watching your own thing. Like it top quality fun. Like,
Yeah.
it was the best. And then ODST came out, which is basically just a big expansion for Halo 3. It was like a side story. The ODST campaign though was great. So like while all that stuff was going on 3 campaign, you were like the side squad. You weren't like Master Chief or anything. But you were like doing like all the dirty work behind the scenes. Really good. Then
Gotcha.
Halo Reach came out, and it just went downhill from there, in my opinion.
What about you, Jason?
Alright, so I started also fairly young. I started, I'd say, around 5 years old, weirdly enough.
I think 5
it's a
was
good
right around
age.
the time when
Yeah.
we started.
My grandma had an Atari. Then she found Nintendo 64 at a yard sale.
Yeah.
So she picked that up. I had the original Simpsons game for it.
Sweet.
I loved
Nice.
it. The only scene I remember from that is whenever you're Bart Simpson, you have to jump over exploding fire hydrants.
Sweet. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, I got a little bit more.
Okay, I'm cutting you off. I was on a roll there. Go
It's
ahead.
okay.
Go ahead.
Then my dad ended up getting an OG Xbox back in the day, but he ended up selling it on me. But that's besides that. That's a whole different story.
We've all had that issue. It's
Yeah,
okay.
It sucks. But
It's okay.
Then I had a Wii for a little while. Then I had a PS1, a DS, then just all PlayStations continuing.
I got you.
It's pretty fun times. I loved it.
I'll tell you. Besides the Game Boy, I remember getting the Super Nintendo, and that was when you go to yard sales, and they were practically just throwing them at you to get rid of them. And now everybody's wanting an arm and a leg for them. But I remember I had the pad. There was like a little pad, and it had a mouse, and it was like a pencil, and it was like Mario Paint.
Dude, that
I
was
played
sick.
that so much, and I couldn't tell you where that thing ended up. But that's where I got what was that? The Mario All Stars.
Yeah, All Stars. They had like I think it was like Mario 1. I'm a bit of a Nintendo nerd, so
Yeah.
for those of you out there, yeah, it had like the original Super Mario Bros, Super Mario 3. I think it had Super Mario World in it too,
I
and
think it did.
maybe another one.
I think it did. Now that I think about it.
I wasn't big on the SNES. I was a big NES guy.
Hmm.
I played N64 here and there. I wasn't super crazy about it, but I got my enjoy. But Super Nintendo, I never got into. I don't know why.
Mario Kart.
Yeah,
That was
Mario
a big
Kart.
one. That
Mario
was a
Kart
big
was
one.
lit.
Dude, Mario Kart. I remember that's like the mainstream game I played on my DS.
Really?
Yeah, I played with all my friends.
I don't think I
could
ever.
hang out with 'em.
I don't think I ever played it on the DS. I just remember on the Super Nintendo, and now the Switch is out, and they have the new Mario Kart.
Yeah, true. But like Mario Kart was amazing on DS. I will say that much. I remember going to my friend's house. We'd play it for hours. I normally kick the butt, but that's a whole different story.
Did you guys ever get into the GameCube world?
No, I played it once at my uncle's when I was just like hanging out with him while Dad was in there talking. I was like, "Oh, GameCube!" And I played like some Tarzan game, but that
Yeah.
controller was so freaking weird. Oh, and my cousins, I played
Those
Mario Kart,
those
Double
controllers
Dash.
didn't age well
Yeah,
at all.
no.
I've had several of the old ones, and like the triggers were just wore out because they were like spring loaded, and they had a certain little pinch point in them, and then things just go bad.
Yeah, now they're just like they just dangle if you hold
Yep.
them right.
Yep. And I'll tell you, the game that really comes to mind to me for the GameCube was Animal Crossing and Smash Bros.
Okay, I've never played. I think it was what, Smash Bros. Melee for. I think that was the one on GameCube. I played Smash Bros. Brawl on the Wii, but I don't think I've ever played Melee. I couldn't get into Animal Crossing though.
Really?
I tried. What was it? The new one, Horizons, I think, on the
Yeah,
Switch. But I couldn't.
I've played it on off and on, and just recently, my wife, she'll listen here.
My
like,
wife.
my wife, Borat. But anyway, she just recently started playing Animal Crossing, and she's kind of gotten hooked on it. And she's
Mhm.
not big into the games, but she does enjoy Animal Crossing, which is cool because
Yeah.
I'm hoping it'll open up a world
Yeah.
that
Oh yeah.
she'll like that, and she'll go into something else.
Cutesy games like that are definitely like the gateway to gaming. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I got the Nookie Queen, as we call her on the world's sexiest podcast, my girlfriend Adriana. I got her. I think we were playing Stardew Valley. We're playing like tons of little cutesy games. So
Yeah,
I'm
we know
hoping
all
to-
about Stardew Valley.
I'm hoping to get her into some more like Call of Duty and like more shooter based. But it's
Yeah.
a slow process.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're hoping you do too because we're kind of missing you on game nights.
Game. I mean, I show up. I'm just a little late, you know.
Hey, I'm only here a month at a time.
Yeah, I'm trying my best.
Hey,
Listen,
I'm still not prestiging. I'm not prestiging in the new COD.
You need to prestige.
not
Dude, you
prestiging.
can get a skin that no one's gonna see. Think about that.
An emblem.
An emblem.
But yeah, like going back to the GameCube, that was a big deal at the time, and like Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion was a big deal, but going from that, heck, the GameCube. What is it? It's well over 20 years old now. Has to be.
Oh, definitely.
And we'll go back to about me gaming and growing up, and starting out, I started out on like the early Game Boy, which I already told about the games on that. PS1 was Driver, then the Driver 3 come out on the OG Xbox. That was a good one, but I really like the GTA's. I really love the Medal of Honor games when they would come out.
Dude, yeah. Back in the PS2 days, like that was before I had internet capabilities. I
Yeah.
mean, we had internet in the house, but not for like gaming and stuff.
Right.
So like everyone was playing COD, like the early CODs, and I was like running. I think it was Medal of Honor, Frontline, Vanguard. I think there was another one, but I forget the name of it. Like,
Rising Sun.
Yeah, I'd play those so much.
They were good.
They were
good. The
story?
the PS1s were pretty good for the time.
Oh yeah.
They were kind of dark. I remember the one on the PS1 was kind of dark, and it kind of scared me a little bit when I was a
Mhm.
kid. You know, it was
Yeah.
just really dark.
The opening of Frontline is D-Day. Like,
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah, you're
army
just going to
game.
the beaches of
It's like
Normandy.
everyone's like falling all around. you with
Yeah.
machine guns. It was crazy.
Fall in line.
Whenever I was talking about earlier, D-Day, that's the one I was trying to think of. Thank you for bringing it back to my memory. But dude, that's the only one I remember, and I loved it so much.
It was good.
It was. It's probably the best
It
one.
was
I
good
owned.
for its time.
I also remember fighting in a field for some reason on there around a barn. Made no sense. I forget.
Medal of Honor Medal of Honor, I think, kind of ended in the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 world. It was I can't remember the name of it, but I do remember it come out.
Really, last one I remember was back in PS2. I still have the disc somewhere.
Yeah, now everybody just plays Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Battlefield's still prevalent, but I think Call of Duty kind of takes the role in the first-person shooters. I'm
Yeah.
more of a Battlefield guy. I really love Battlefield 1. Really wish they'd go back to that. Come on, DICE, just do it.
Just do it.
Make new Bad Companies. You know you want to.
Dude,
1 and 2 was amazing.
Bad Company 2 was amazing. I remember that snow map or something.
Yeah, White Pass.
Yeah, I kept
played
trying
it.
to hide in like a shed, but here come a tank and we'll just
Yeah,
run
dude,
down the
run
entire
right
shed.
through it. Runs right through it, but knock it down. The building would start shaking.
Yeah, like
it was
so
amazing.
cool.
It was amazing for the time. And Bad Company 2 was like one of my favorites, and that's what introduced me. I played those before the Call of Duty. Bad Company 1, you could play on a golf course in a ghillie suit, right in a golf cart doing a drive-by basically with a freaking Mac 10. It was good stuff.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games back then we shouldn't have been playing, if we're being honest.
No, but look at us now. We're fine.
Yeah, we're doing
We're
great. Doing great.
Yeah, we're totally fine. Yeah. Do you know if Battlefield 5 is cross-compatible?
Battlefield 5, I don't believe so.
Oh, that makes sense why we never played. I was curious.
Well,
about
actually,
that.
yes, it is.
Really?
I think it is.
Why don't we play
No,
it
it's
then?
not, because
Oh,
I played it with Alex a few times, and I think I was playing it.
PC.
I
No,
think I want to say I was playing on my PlayStation. I could be wrong, but I liked the. I don't know about Battlefield 5. I know the new one, that 2042, had the portal mode on it, and you could go into the old battlefields.
See, I can't get
Bad
into
Company 2. There was a Bad Company 2 map on it.
Oh,
I want
really?
to say it was like Laguna Preza. It was like kind of gave me like South American vibes. That was like water and had like palm trees and stuff, which that was a good map when it first came out.
Those are always the best maps on Battlefield, honestly. Those are amazing ones.
And but going back to it, when I was talking about like the gaming, the Fallout series, I really love that.
My favorite so far is Fallout 4, that's for sure.
Really?
That's the one I started on, that's
You
why.
really need to get into New Vegas, dude.
Yeah, I've always heard
3
amazing
was
things.
good. I like 3, but I started out honestly with 4. Like I played them
See?
a little bit, but I got into 4, and I'm not going to go into details, but I was going through a lot of stuff in like 2015 when it come out. I lost a family member.
That's
But
fair.
the Fallout 4 was like an escape for me.
It was. It's a
And
great game.
everybody uses, I think, game music for an escape.
I definitely did. I had a rough childhood, so I completely understand.
I understand that. But yeah, Fallout 4 I got into real heavy, and I beat it. I've played it numerous times. Still play it to this day.
Same. I don't know how many times I've beaten it at this point. It's just a great escape type of game.
Yep. And you can do all kinds of stuff with mods now. Bethesda lets you do the mods, which I find is really cool.
I haven't done that yet, but I'm looking forward to it one day in the future.
Get it. Go into Skyrim, and I did a mod on there one time where I made the dragons into Macho Man Randy Savage. So you'd just be like going through somewhere, and they would fly over, and they'd be like, "Ooh yeah,
Here comes an elbow.
yeah, crack it to a Slim Jim."
Ooh, dig it. You're just like, what? Where?
Come on, I want to hear the Macho Man. You can do it really well.
Oh, I don't know if I. Hold on. We got the Dragonborn right in front of us. He's gonna be yelling, but no one will be listening. Yeah, we'll be up here on the mountaintop. You'll be looking for something to shout at, but he won't be there. You'll be whispering. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, dude. You need to play. You need to play New Vegas.
I definitely do. Like, I've had friends who've been badgering me about it for years. I
It's
just
such a
need
good
to.
game.
It's on PlayStation now. I have to stream it. I don't know if it saves my save data. If not, I don't want to lose it all.
I would definitely look into it
I'll have
because I
to.
think you would like New Vegas. I just like last winter. Last winter's when I get into and it'll probably happen again. I usually play Fallout New Vegas and I rebeat GTA 4 for like the 30th time. I love that game. I personally think it's better than 5. Just saying.
I mean, everybody's allowed their own opinion.
And
so.
yeah, the Fallout series. I'll tell you another one that I really love is The Last of Us.
I've only played the first one. I've never played the second. Is it pretty good?
I like it. A lot of people are torn by the events. I'm not going to get into spoilers
Yeah,
because people
that's
could be
on them.
listening and not
People
know.
just- yeah.
And I don't want to ruin it for you, but I would definitely pick it up and play it because
I
it's a long game. Like if you get
Really?
good at the first one, you can
Yeah.
blast through that game in just a couple hours.
Easily.
The new one is so detailed, like
Really?
it's mind blowing.
The first one was amazing, so I can only imagine how they stepped it up on the second one.
The second one they go through and it's like you look at the events from the first one in two different people's perspectives,
Really?
which is nice, and it's going to tear you. It's like
Oh no.
I don't want. It's like I don't want to do this, because you're playing as somebody else you don't know.
Yeah.
And like the first one, you got Joel and Ellie, and I want Steven to play those games.
Wait,
And
you have not played them?
no, I keep trying to get him to borrow my PlayStation to play
I
them,
have not played them. Here's what's going to happen. If I borrow Dylan's PlayStation,
which he's going to, and then he's going to fall in love with them. I
you
know
know
he
what's
will.
going to happen? It's going to sit there on my stand, and I'll be like, yeah, I need to play those. And then Dylan's going to come back and be like, hey, did you beat the games? And I'm like, yeah, man, yeah, here's your PlayStation. I wouldn't have touched them that entire time. I know
There's
what's going to happen.
Eventually, I'm going to leave for the boat, and I'm going to send Vitamin D a nasty message and tell him to leave his brother alone so he can play the Last of Us series. And then he's going to text me and say, "Why did I wait this long to play them?"
Yeah, they'll have to stop. They'll have to stop watching Star Trek and all that crap.
Yeah, the Lord of the Rings saga or something.
Listen,
or
I've never gotten into Lord of the Rings that much.
Dale's walking across the street rewinding his VHS.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got this new corny film you guys will love.
It's about a killer vacuum.
Yeah. But
I guess you
Let's
could say that movie would really
let's leave Vitamin
suck,
D.
right, guys?
Let's leave Vitamin D alone. He means well.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He really is.
I'll
But
I'll tell you too. I really like the first Red Dead. That was a good one.
I played that one on the original Xbox, and also I played Revolver.
Really, you played Revolver?
Yep.
That's one I haven't played. I've watched videos of it, and I see it on sale on the Xbox store all the time, and I'm like, I should pick that up. But it's hard going back
To those
in
graphics.
time to those graphics and getting intrigued with it. And it doesn't follow the story of the
Not
Red
at
Dead
all.
Redemption and RDR2.
Yeah, the story is all right, but you're more.
It's a spaghetti western. It's
Yeah.
kind of corny. It's got corny bits in it.
Exactly, it's not that great, and like when you have to do the red eye, it is so bad. I hated it so much as
But
a
at
child.
the time,
was
it was
great.
good. It was
Yeah.
really good.
It was good for them, but of the Red Dead series, I love the second one the most.
The second one's good.
It is.
The second one's good, and when it come out, and like people were it was like drop videos. They're like, I don't want to play this stupid Arthur Morgan. I want to play as John Marston, which I thought that too because John Marston is I'm just gonna say it. He was a badass
He
in the
was.
game,
He definitely was.
and
he was amazing.
still is.
Yeah, got attacked by wolves and stuff like that, and still lived.
Yeah.
To talk about that's
Yeah.
insane.
Yep. And speaking about RDR2, that game is just like something special to me.
It's so beautiful. Really
It is. It's still to this day. It looks
very
really
cinematic.
good. Really good.
It's amazing how well
And
they did on that.
That come out 2018.
That's what's crazy.
October 26th that dropped on 2018, and that was the last Christmas gift I ever got from my mom. So
Really?
I hold that
That's sweet.
because
I love
you
that.
know I got out of high school and stuff. I didn't want any Christmas gifts or anything, but like at that time I wasn't really working. I was like laid off, and she
need to
kind of
escape.
she kind of came to me and she was like, "What would you want for Christmas?" And I said, "I'd like you to buy me a video game." You know,
Yeah.
and
It's a great game right there too.
my mom's no longer here, but that was the last game she bought for me. But still to this day, I play that game.
That's awesome.
And I'll tell you right now, I don't care. I'm a grown man. That game made me cry.
it's very sad. It really is.
It is. It is, and it's like playing as Arthur Morgan. He's an awesome gunslinger, and
One of the
they did
best.
bad stuff. They
Yeah.
were in a gang. They were robbing. They didn't take from the poor. They took from the rich.
They could have taken from the poor if you chose that way.
But it's so beautiful on how the story is because he's going through and he has no guilt. It's just another day. It's his job, and he starts getting sick,
Yep.
and the sick catches up to him, and he starts questioning his morality.
Yep. Starts wanting to be a better person.
Yes, it's a fine
Regrets.
line from being good and bad,
Yep.
and I love that part showing the morals.
It's amazing. Then you get stuck with John Marston, but I mean, I'm okay with that. I love Arthur.
It was
but
cool. It was cool. It
I'm
was
happy that it did not just end right there.
because
though.
that introduced you to Red Dead 1.
Exactly.
But
And
if he
it
would have
just
listened to what
moved.
Arthur said, nothing would have ever happened.
Exactly.
Because technically, he went against what Arthur said,
Yep.
and that's what caught his early grave.
Yep.
But I mean, hopefully we get another one, which I would say would be another 10 years from now.
They're supposedly working on a third one right now, but it
But
shows
the
something about
Rockstar
time.
Rockstar is so secretive,
They are.
and there's so many spoof videos.
They had a leak of supposedly like time travel being introduced into a third one, which I think would ruin it if they did that.
See, I think if they were going to do a third Red Dead, they could go back in time even more,
Hmm.
and you could have a young John, young Arthur, all of the young gang, and you could play as Matt Callender because Matt Callender died in the Blackwater heist. So
Oh yeah, I
you
forgot
never
about
met
him.
him, but he was supposed to be a big deal in the gang, and he's mentioned numerous times. And they were brothers. They were the Calendar boys. But I think you could go back and play as Matt Callender, and
That'd be
you
a
know he
great one.
dies. But
Yeah.
like it could carry on to Arthur, and you could do the same thing in RDR2. You know, you go into John. I think that would wrap that story up beautifully.
It'd be
But there's going to be a
amazing.
lot of people that don't want to stay with the Vanderlyn gang.
Which is dumb. But I have a question for you. When you're playing RDR2, did you ever try to just run into a Blackwater, see if you can find anything, and then instantly get hunted?
Oh yeah, you have the infamous invisible sniper.
Yep.
You could do glitches halfway through the game to get you over in Arthur, so you could do like the dinosaur bones and like the fishing challenges.
See, I can never find all the
So
dinosaur
like
bones.
I've never done it. I've watched videos, but like you know how Jack gets taken,
Yeah.
and you have to do the story for that Italian guy.
Yeah, I
So when
hated
you're going to
those.
the cemetery, you just take off and go straight to Blackwater, and it'll let you go in there.
Really?
There's some kind of glitch you can still do it. I don't know if you know Rockstar. They don't like glitches and stuff. And
No.
that's another thing.
Which I respect it, but
I respect it because when you get a game from them, it's usually complete.
it normally is. I think, except for like GTA 5, when I first got it, it's very buggy, but
Yeah,
that's just every game for some reason. A lot of
yeah.
times, at least it's not like
These
WWE
them games.
2K20. That game
See,
busted
I don't,
instantly when it
I
came
don't,
out.
I don't play them. The only sport game I play is like MLB. But like
That's great games too.
those games, Rockstar's sitting so much time.
They do amazingly on it. That's why. Like, I'm excited to see the graphics on GTA 6. I heard it's supposed to be amazing.
I think it's going to be beautiful.
I think it's gonna look almost like realistic one day.
Oh yeah, yeah.
See, that's the thing. Whenever like you were saying, like as soon as it came out, yeah, it was buggy, but Rockstar has always been on the like fixing the bugs as soon as they happen. Like, there's
Yeah.
a lot of games like bugs will last for like months.
Yeah.
Anytime Rockstar, like they get on it immediately.
See, I'll tell you this too, and it's an unpopular thing is a lot of people. I get a lot of hate for this, like online when I mention it, but I don't. I prefer GTA 4 over GTA 5. I
I'm,
thought GTA 5 story was comedy.
it was like, especially with Trevor. Like, every time you flip over to him, he's always cross-dressing, vomiting, or something.
Yeah,
It's
he's
always
asleep somewhere, waking up, and
Yeah, a lot of times trash cans.
I just
Walking out of a strip club.
feel like they took such a step backwards. Like the handling of the cars were like GTA 4 it was like realistic, you know, cars sway and move, and on GTA 5 it was like a Matchbox car.
Yeah,
Like, it's just arcadey, and I like realism.
which I don't blame you. It's just makes you feel better about the game. You have to be more careful when it's realistic.
Yep,
It just
yep.
makes you
And
respect it
4 I
more.
thought just had a grittier story, and this is going to lead into other things, but it actually had story DLC.
Really?
It had two. And I love them. I play them all. I play every winter. I beat that game from the beginning to the end with the DLCs. And 5 had like numerous DLCs planned, and they canned them. And this is where we get into it. Online gaming. Online gaming is such a blessing and a curse.
It really is. It
Because
makes
like
me
for
so
the,
angry.
for the people that love single player games and the story experience, online gaming kind of ruins it.
Yeah, it really does.
And I was looking forward to having GTA 5 DLC, and they just cut it. And then we're going to get into online, and you guys can tell me your bad experiences. See, like I've never been like invested in anything like GTA 5. People buying shark cards, like
Yeah,
they're
that's
making
dumb.
billions of money off of kids with taking their mom's credit cards and stuff and buying shark cards. Like that's just outrageous.
It really is.
You got to be so grindy to play them games to compete. But Red Dead 2, like I love that online experience. Steven, I know you didn't play it a lot.
I played a pretty good bit. I got all the way down to Saint Denis, and I started doing all the trophy hunts, and I just stopped doing the story.
See, I got so invested in that game. Like when they started doing the actual true updates and got all the demos, I met a person on there, and his name was King Kuda,
I
and
remember you talking about Kuda.
just a random dude. I think he lives in New York. I still talk to him. But we had so many people in that game, and we were so rich at the time because it was coming out of the demo, and they come out with this outlaw pass, and You had like the trader. You could do. It was like what was the other one? Oh yeah, you could do bounties.
Yeah, the
And
bounties were
then
big.
then they had a thing where you could like be a trapper and stuff like that. We took control of the trapper role because you could take all your hides, you could hunt, which I thought was fun in that game.
Yeah.
And the guy back at your camp would like fill a wagon up, and you have to do wagon deliveries across the map. And so if you did a full, big, large wagon, it was $600. That was a lot of money in the online.
Oh yeah.
So just imagine like 8 of us doing that in a night, and like you do one $600. So I jump into your policy and I help you. That's $300. Me just going riding along with you.
Helping out.
So there was like 6 and 7 of us deep in a posse, all in a circle around these wagons, like running lead and scouting ahead and everything. And we were just running the lobbies. And like they had daily objectives. So like it was like the thing about like GTA, it was like they had shark cards and you could do the money thing. But on Red Dead, their version of shark card was like gold bars. So you could earn gold bars doing the daily objectives, and they had a streak. So if you did a month, every time you did a daily objective, it gave you a full gold bar. But at the beginning of the month, like if you didn't have the streak, it was like a percentage. So like I had a streak on there for like a whole year. It was like well over 200 days that I had a streak. And I think Rockstar was like thinking we kind of screwed up because they're not making money. And that was a slow debacle of Red Dead Online. Like it was so many people that we had so many people in like a Discord that like we would have 2 different lobbies full of people to play with, and like we had over $100,000 and like over 500,000 gold bars. We were probably the richest, and I would put money on we were probably the richest at the time in Red Dead Online. And Rockstar just gave up on that game, just straight gave up on it, canceled it, didn't say nothing, and it got to the point that people was clowning them on Twitter and was dressing up as clowns in the game, and it was becoming such an issue. They made a statement and basically it was like, "Sorry, but we're not sorry. We're not going to be updating this anymore. We're going to focus more on GTA 6." And really, they focused more on GTA 5 because it was a cash cow. Money's king.
Yeah, like they could have done so much more of RDR2.
You couldn't even get a robbery on the online.
And it's sad because it was such.
It's a Western game.
Yeah, it was. In my opinion, RDR2 is better than GTA 5. That might be
Oh,
a harsh one, but I love it.
no, I agree. I like the Western, and it's real. It's real. You know what I mean? It's
I
more
love the
realistic.
Because
It's
I don't
beautiful.
want to go into like a gunfight with someone, all of a sudden they pull out a saw and start shooting me. It's like,
Yeah,
really? That's
yeah,
not fair. That's
yeah,
not cool.
yeah.
At least over here, the most you have is a sniper rifle and a pistol.
Yep.
Or shotgun, maybe.
Yep.
Or bow and arrow.
It,
It's amazing.
it's just I don't know. That game still captivates me this day. It's like you could watch 2 bucks fighting in a field.
Yeah.
Like it was so in detail,
It's insane.
and like you could have like a carcass of like a deer laying somewhere, and you go by it the next day, and it's like you can see buzzards picking at it.
yeah, it's so realistic.
That's groundbreaking. Like
It
it's
really
just it's
is.
crazy.
And when we're talking about online gaming, you have to mention Call of Duty.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion, this is a rough one. Call of Duty has slowly made the online gaming decline because of how bad how people spend so much time on it and ruining it for so many other people. Because you can't go into a lobby without getting completely destroyed nowadays, unless you have to put all 100% amount of effort into it.
Yeah.
It's
It's
sad.
it's definitely not a game that you just kick back and enjoy anymore. In the how do I want to say it? Like when they're wanting to be like sporty in games, what is it, like
Ranked
esport,
and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
like the
yeah.
ranked esports, and plus the streaming. People
Yeah.
are so competitive to be the best person they can be in those games, and like what's the meta loadout? Like they're always chasing what the
It's
next
dumb.
best loadout is, and it's like back in like Black Ops, like OG Black Ops, which was my favorite COD, still
Oh,
is.
same.
It
Dude,
was
I
like
had-
if you
I
had a
loved it.
gun, you had to be good with that gun.
Yeah.
Now it's like
You switch 20 times.
you got to switch 20 times because they change how good that gun is.
Yeah, remember Warzone when it first came out? Like I rocked the M4 after so many like nerfs and buffs. Like I stayed with the M4 until it was impossible to use. I was still dropping like 15 to 20 kills
What
a game.
what was that gun that we had in Warzone for a while? I cannot remember the name of it, but it was like a 2-shot gun. It was like a 2 to 3 shot gun. It was like for 2 months that gun just ran the map.
I don't know. Was it shoot?
I
It
think
wasn't the Wasp, was it?
no, it wasn't the Wasp. It was a long gun. I can't think of it.
A sniper?
It wasn't a sniper. It was semi-auto. Well, it was actually single shot, but it was like a 2-tap.
I remember what you're talking about. I can't think of the name.
Yeah, I
though.
can't think of the name anyway, but it doesn't matter. But Warzone, that game, that is just a shell of itself.
Oh yeah.
Verdansk and the pandemic, that was a real lifesaver playing Warzone and good old Verdansk.
And going back to what you were saying about putting money into it, like, I feel like there's a right way and a wrong way. You know what I mean? Like COD, I don't mind all the people putting money into, like, because they're just getting cosmetics. Same with Fortnite. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, they can get cool skins, they can get cool this, that, whatever, but it doesn't change, like, the gameplay.
Right.
But look at GTA, for example. You buy, like, tons of shark cards, then you can get, like, the best of the best guns. You can get this, and you can melt anyone who's new.
A pay to win, basically.
Yeah, pay
Yeah.
to win. Can't stand pay to wins. I
Yep.
don't mind cosmetic stuff, but pay to wins are just the dumbest, in my opinion.
Yep. And there's people out there that'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've known too many people that do it. Like my buddy Alex, he grinds that game so hard. COD, by the way.
Oh
He
yeah.
sits and grinds there. Like he's almost halfway to prestige, like Master Prestige on there now. It's like,
Yeah.
bro.
He's trying to get me to prestige now.
I am. Too.
I'm like,
trying
nah,
to
I'm
get
gonna
you.
ride level 55. I don't need an emblem. I'm just on here trying to play. You know, I'm a run and gun. I like TDM and kill
Same.
confirmed. I'm not trying to be sweaty and playing search and
Same. I
all
hate
that
Search
stuff.
and Destroy, dude.
yeah, I don't like
Like,
it either.
whenever I play with Alex, he puts us in somehow. Where he's always sweating on the game. He puts us in unemployment lobbies. That's why I call it.
Yeah.
Because they just sit at home and do nothing but game.
Yep.
And I'd rather game and just be comfortable, and just be casual. Cannot be casual anymore. That's why I'm mad with COD.
Well, it doesn't help now that like COD is so cookie cutter.
It is.
It's the same game. It's the same game
Every year.
Every year.
The
Every
story's
year,
different,
like
that's it.
October, November, it's the same game every
Yep.
year.
Like I stream every once in a while. I quit streaming COD because one, I get too angry and I get trashed on because people don't be casual anymore.
Plus, you're streaming. You're not going to get very many people to watch you play COD
No,
unless you're an
exactly.
elite streamer,
Which
well
I'm far
known.
from. So
No, none of us in
on
here are going to
COD.
be at that level.
no,
None of us got the time. We got jobs.
that's very true. We got some of us are off for a month, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, well, I don't do a lot of gaming.
You got a family of your own.
My
too,
key gaming is like at night, you know, when the kids
Same.
asleep or something like that. I don't get to just
If
walk
you,
in the living room, turn a game on, sit there and play till my eyes fall out.
True, because if you game and get paid for it, you have to stream for like 8 hours straight every single day, except for like 2 days a week.
It's a job.
It really is.
It turns into a lifestyle.
And then a lot of times you get like extremely out of shape unless you work out and a little bit of time you have left, like
Yeah.
without streaming.
Yep.
But it kills your body really fast if you just sit down 24/7. It ruins your spine and all that stuff.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, it's just like the online part is just, in my opinion, it's killing gaming.
It
I
really
think it's
is.
fun because of the social aspect, but I think it's killing gaming and it's making lazy gaming developers
Yep.
because they're like, what can I do to maximize profit with little effort?
Exactly.
In my opinion, Call of Duty is one of the biggest ones that exposes that.
Worst, I agree. Like online gaming, I've been playing a game called Phasmophobia here lately. There's no microtransactions or anything. You just hang out with your friends and just game. That's what I
Right.
love. It's so easy to do, and you don't lose any money.
What is that game about?
It's basically just hunting out ghosts, try to figure out what they are, and getting ghost evidence like EMF and spirit box and stuff like that, fingerprints of UV lights. It's a really fun game. I love it. It's cross compatible.
Is it on PS5?
PS5,
Okay.
Xbox, PC, everything. You can
I got
play.
you.
I'm out of all my friends, I'm the highest level right now. But that's
Really?
just because I play like a few games here and there without them. It's a lot
Well,
of fun.
if you love it, play
Yeah.
it.
It's not gonna lie.
To me, a
it's-
good game, it's like every 2 years before I get a good game that I really like. And I'll tell you, the last game that I played that I
Mhm.
really loved, and I beat it this summer,
Which one?
was Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, dude, that was an amazing game. I love that.
Beautiful game.
It is. I loved like whenever you have to do raids, you behead people at the very end. I love that.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
it
It's
just
cool.
graphically, it's awesome, and I like that time
It is.
period.
Like the waving wheat in the hayfields.
Yeah.
Like, that's so beautiful. And the tree, like the blossoming. and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
the cherry blossoms.
That's
That's
what I was
like one of my
thinking, yeah.
favorite
There it
trees. Is like the ones in Japan. Those like the cherry
Same.
blossoms.
Because you
beautiful.
can walk by it in the game, it will just blow the little leaves by
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
It's just so like cinematic.
And
I love it.
and the samurai stuff is just it's
It really
awesome.
is.
It's cool.
Like I have swords in real life. One, after I started playing that game, I had to buy a couple more swords just because they're so cool. Let's just be honest here.
Yeah. And that was just a well-made game.
really
They're
is.
supposed to have a sequel. Supposed to be next year. I
Really?
think it's coming out. Yeah, you're playing as a female.
Oh,
Yeah, I
cool.
think it'll be cool.
That'll be awesome though. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody can be tough. It don't matter.
As long as they stay out of the wokeness part of it, and they just make it, hey, this is a girl that's want to be a badass samurai.
Yeah, like look at Tomb Raider. She's a
Yeah,
badass.
yeah,
She's amazing. She takes down what, like almost an army by herself.
yeah. I never got big into Tomb Raider. I remember playing on PS1, but
I couldn't get behind the graphics of PS1.
they were tough at the time
Oh,
because
fair.
you didn't use sticks; you used the
Oh, yeah,
buttons, the directional
Uh,
buttons.
yeah,
And I heard a lot of people complain about that. And I guess they revamped the controls in the remaster. So
They
I don't know.
definitely did.
I might play them.
I mean, if you want the original, I still have the original somewhere.
Well, you can go back in the remaster and play the original with the original controls. You can go back and forth
Really?
in the graphics.
That's actually insane. I did
Yep.
not know that. I have like the first Tomb Raider on disc somewhere, but I love the newest one. I played it. I beat it pretty easily. I loved it. But
Yeah.
I also like crap. I can't say the name of it. Never mind. You go ahead.
What was it?
Start with D. They had a movie come out here somewhat recently, about last year, I think. They explored the world looking for a hunted treasure, but then somehow always ended up running into like an army group that was trying to kill them and stop them from finding treasure.
Are you talking about Uncharted?
Yeah, Uncharted, not D.
I
Sorry,
just
don't know
started
where I
playing
got D.
Uncharted like a couple months ago.
Great game.
I started playing like the very first one.
I love it.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It's a lot of fun. It's a little different now. How to go back and look at the graphics, but that's
Yeah,
every game you play.
that's my biggest curve right now. Is like I'm wanting to get into the newer ones of Uncharted
Yeah.
because they look so good.
They are.
And plus, Naughty Dog makes it. They make The Last
Dude,
of Us.
Naughty
That's
Dog's
such a good
amazing.
company.
Did you know back when they when they did Crash Bandicoot, there's only like a small group, like 5 people who
Yeah.
did the first Crash Bandicoot, and that's incredible.
At that time, he didn't need a lot of people.
True, the graphics were so low, but all you had to do is be creative about it.
Yep.
And you can do it.
And now everybody's doing everything. It's hard to be the one that stands out.
It is, and you have to take like what, almost 100 people for one game, if not more.
Anymore, it takes at least 5 years to make a game.
Yeah, true. Because when you go to the credits, you're literally sitting there for 20 minutes scrolling through all of them, and that's it, even on fast forward if you're lucky enough with that.
And most of your AAA titles, your true AAA titles that are like huge, like Red Dead and stuff, they take a decade to make.
Yeah, I mean, understandably so. They have to be so beautiful, and Rockstar keeps their like the quality so high. They want to up their standards every time they make a new game, and I
Yeah.
respect that.
Yeah, I mean,
It's hard to find a great game.
I
now.
don't hate on it. Yeah, I know I'm being a bandwagon with Rockstar. But they just make great
Same.
games.
I mean, I love Rockstar. Now I have a question for you.
What's up?
What's your top 5 games?
What's my top 5 games? Man, well, I gotta have the GTA series. I'll tell you, Max Payne 1.
I've never
Oh my
played. I've
gosh,
heard
it
great
was
things.
good. The Last of Us.
Great game.
I'm gonna have to put the Ghost of Tsushima in
You
there.
have to. I
It's
mean,
so good.
beautiful
It's so
game.
good.
I sadly did not put it in my list, but
Multiplayer games like first-person shooters, I'm gonna put Black Ops 1, not Black Ops. Yeah, Black Ops 1 I'll put in there, and then the
Fair.
Battlefield Bad Company 1 and 2 I'll just put together.
I don't blame you.
They're such good games.
They are. It's hard to choose. It really is.
And I know I'm very tight on my games, but it's like the game's got to really captivate me, and if it don't grab my attention in the first 5 minutes, I'm not playing it.
Same. I dropped so many games. Like I'm looking for indie games to play on my stream because that's why.
See, I
prefer
can't get
playing.
into indie games.
Yeah, same. That's the issue.
But
played
they're
like
cheap.
6.
There's so many of them.
Yeah, I was like, I've only played like 6 indie games because there's not a whole lot of great ones out there. I'm sorry, but it's just hard for me to get interested into it.
Yeah.
Now, Steven, what's your top 5?
Top 5. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna say this without any sort of order. Like you, multiplayer. I'm gonna have to go with the COD franchise as a whole. Not necessarily for
Bootlicker.
not necessarily for like the games themselves, but
Right.
like, just think of all the countless nights that we've had the groups together, just full of laughter, just hanging out, just
Mhm.
playing games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those are perfect to me.
Even though I get furious and want to throw my console through
Yeah.
the window.
That's
Second,
the best part, bro.
yeah, second game in, Dill's like, oh, dude, oh man, yeah. I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah, I'm done.
Dude, I'm done. He didn't even say bye. You just leave the party. But I'm gonna do some throwbacks.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna say Contra on the NES. Love it. It's such an old game. It's one of those games that like you guys have heard of the Konami code, right?
Konami?
I did not know it was Konami.
Yeah, it was Konami.
Is that a game or are you talking about the company?
That's
Konami?
the company made the game Contra, but they have the Konami code.
The cheat code.
I just
yeah.
know Konami from Metal Gear Solid.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
same
only
company.
thing that
But
comes
like,
to mind when I think of Konami.
They made a special code that gives you like not infinite lives, but like 30 some lives in that Contra game.
Mm-hmm.
And like there are tons of people because it's so hard that can't even beat it with the extra 30 lives, and that's with 3 continues as well. So I mean, and me like I don't want to brag or anything, but I'm able to breeze through it pretty well. It's fun, and it never gets old to me.
What else you got?
Probably you said 5, right?
Yeah, I mean you don't have to do 5. Just
Okay.
whatever you think's the best.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 for the PS2.
Classic.
The new ones
so
were
good.
trash.
Yeah,
They were fun.
I think they were fun.
Graphically, they were fun, but they do not stand up to
No,
Battlefront.
they don't. I
at all.
agree. I agree
Yeah, 'cause
totally.
me and like I said, me and Dale like every Christmas in December we start running through the.
Who made those? Was that Ubisoft?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, because
Lucasfilm had
they
stuff
were
into
trying
it,
to
but-
cash in on the microtransactions.
Yeah,
they
that's what
got
it
in a
was.
little bit of trouble with them loot crates.
Wait, are you talking about the new Battlefront?
I think it was the
That
first.
was Dice.
Was it Dice?
Dice made the.
Okay, yeah, it was
yeah.
Dice. You stand corrected.
Yeah. Because that's the thing, I didn't like it because it felt like Battlefield. I've never
Yeah,
been huge
yeah,
into Battlefield.
they tried to get into the microtransactions with the loot crates,
Yeah.
and something happened legality wise, and they got removed.
I don't know. I'd say those are a solid top 3.
Them
I
are
mean, the
good.
rest. I mean, there's tons of games I love, but like top 3 wise, like that's definitely.
What's
it.
your favorite single player story?
Story mode? Oh Lord, that's hard.
Hasn't played single player in years.
Yeah, I don't single
It's-
play
it's
games
hard.
very often. Probably Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, I got you.
I love the Res series when it comes to single player games.
I've
but-
played them, never beat them.
Really?
Yeah, I've watched people. I've watched people play them more than I've actually played them.
I've beat
Just not my cup of tea.
I beat the 1 remake, the 2 remake, the 3 remake, original 4, 5, 6, Revelations 1, and yeah, I don't think I played Revelations 2 yet, but I have it. I'm in meaning to. Oh, didn't beat 7. Didn't beat 7. That's one
How
of
many is there now?
They're working on the 9th one.
Yeah, I knew there was
Yeah.
like almost 10 of them.
Oh, I mean, if you go with like side ones, they have like they have like an Albert Wesker game. They have like Operation Raccoon City. They had Outbreak. Like they have tons of spinoffs.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
the main story though, I think they're working on the 9th one. But yeah, I didn't like their whole. They switched to first person. You know, whenever like the Oculus and everything was coming out, like
Mhm.
everything had to be that first like.
It was like
your-
VR, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 and 8 were like that, which I wasn't crazy about. But
Yeah,
8
that
had a
stuff makes me
fantastic story.
sick.
Me too.
I
I get
feel like I'm
motion sick.
floating around on a waterbed while
Yeah.
I'm playing them. I don't like it.
Yeah, they're pretty solid though. Pretty solid games.
But what else you got, Jason?
My top 5, I would have to say, not in any specific order, would be Fallout 4. Just I love the game. I grew up on it. Well, not grew up on it, but you know what
It's
I mean.
good stuff.
It is. God of War, amazing game. Beautiful. The newer ones are. I love them. Love the story too. I love anything about the mythologies. It's just awesome. Red Dead Redemption 2. Also have to mention that one. That's amazing. The bottom 2 of the top 5 would be Phasmophobia and weirdly enough Guitar Hero, but it has to be specifically the Aerosmith version.
The Guitar Hero games are just
They
top
are.
tier rock band.
They're
I'm in
amazing.
the hunt right now to get a rock band set
Dude, Rock
because
Band
I
be
want to start
hard.
doing the where we got this in the backyard. I want to
Yeah.
get a projector and some speakers and start doing rock band nights in the summertime.
I
I want
would
everybody to
love
come
that.
over and play rock band.
Dude,
I
that'd
just
be
think
so
it would be
sick.
so cool.
That'd be awesome.
But
I
they're
look
so
forward to that.
expensive.
I bet.
Drum sets are like $200 on eBay.
Just the drum.
You guys need to
drum?
start contributing to the rock band fund.
I mean, I have guitars, but they're not for rock band.
I have a
anyways.
PlayStation 3. I got several rock band.
Okay.
So
Well,
yeah,
that's
I'm trying
good.
to find a PlayStation 3 stuff. So if you find anything like the mics and the drums, let me know.
I have a Xbox controller for it. I might have 2 actually. Now I'm thinking of,
I
but
don't know if
they're
they're
USB
compatible.
though.
Yeah, I don't know if they're
That's
compatible.
what I was wondering.
But
Definitely worth a shot.
I like your list, Jason. That was
Yeah,
nice.
solid
I like
list.
yours too, Steven.
Thank you. You all had great lists. Yours is more retro. I will say that about you, Steven. But you play a
Yeah,
lot of retro
he
games.
does.
So that's why you have all the cool
He grew up with
systems.
a brother that played all that stuff, so
Yeah,
you know
so-
he was around it a lot more.
I kind of wish I grew up playing some because I mean that's how you get a true love of gaming.
Yep.
From going off the older stuff.
Yep.
But I mean, if not, I'm glad I did not grow up in new age gaming though.
Yeah.
So glad about that.
Yeah.
But-
I like the list. But we're getting close to about a minute 10. We were going to aim for about 45 minutes, and we've just started talking. I like it.
doing great. I
But
love it.
I made a list earlier, and the last thing I want to talk about, we're going to wrap this up.
Most definitely.
So today was Black Friday, and I went to GameStop.
What'd you find at GameStop?
Not much.
Really?
So GameStop 10 years ago, 10 to 12 years ago, was magical at that time. It's hard to think.
It's
Like,
amazing.
it's a lot of time it's passed, but it don't seem like it has.
Yeah.
I remember going in there and like pre-ordering Assassin's Creed 3 and walking out with a handful of games. But that's when you still had a good foothold on the physical aspect. Now it's
True.
getting into the digital world, and I feel like that's going to kill GameStop.
Yeah, they're slowly going bankrupt. I don't know if you've seen they've been shutting down a lot of stores.
See, I was reading online the other day that they were trying. I don't know how true it is. This is just online speculation, but they're going to try to go to retro,
Really?
which I think would be cool
It would
because you
be.
could go in and like pick up PS2 titles or whatever.
That'd be
But
sick.
here's what's going to break the camel's back.
What?
I think they could purposely inflate the retro gaming world with their prices on the.
You're
You know how they
right.
have been, and like
Yeah.
over the years, like you could buy something brand new for $60, take it out of the wrapper and say I changed my mind, and give it back to them, and they'd give you $5.
Yeah. They'll be like, oh, you want to give us a original Game Boy, brand new in the box? We'll give you $12.
Yeah,
$12.50
I
on a
mean,
good
like
day.
they could watch you unwrap it and be like, they know it's new,
Yeah.
but they're gonna get their money back out of it and then
Yeah.
some.
They still check the CD for scratches. And
Yeah.
like, hey, you see that little hairline scratch? Yeah. Well, now you get nothing.
Yeah. Like today, I walked in and they were doing a buy two get one free. It was like on pre-owned games. I'm like, man, that's really cool. But like
It's not bad.
my Xbox is like, I don't have disk drive on my Xbox, so I was limited to like the Switch and the PS5. So I was like walking along, and I was going through the PS5, and I had like two games. I was like going to hunt another one down, and I looked over and I seen the new enhanced GTA 5. And I was like, you know what?
Ooh.
I'll play that again.
10-year-old game. It's
Yeah,
new and enhanced
yeah.
now.
$20. Well, I looked at
That's
it,
not
and
bad.
it said new. I was like, well, I can't get that. It's pre-owned. Well, I looked over and I seen one that was pre-owned. I pick it up, and it was like $30. I'm like, how's the pre-owned more than that? The new. But what they were going to do is, I got to get the pre-owned,
Yep.
so they're going to ream you. And I was like, no, not happening. I was like, I just walked out of that place. There was like 4 or 5 people in there, but it's like, it was Black Friday. Like, you would have thought that would have had the sales going
Dude,
on.
GameStops used to be like gamer paradise.
It was.
Like the racks were full of games.
Yep.
Like because now I mean you have like the walls, but the middle sections are all full of like Funko Pops,
Funko Pops.
trinkets, like statues and stuff. Which
Yeah.
I mean, cool, has its own thing.
I
But
feel like I'm walking into like a Spencer's or a Hot
Yeah,
Topic now.
they ruined that too. I mean, you used to get tons of cool band T-shirts. You used to
Yep.
get like CDs, records, all that stuff.
Yep.
Remember FYE back in the day? FYE was lit.
So, not trying to get off topic, but
Okay.
I was out of town for training for a job, and they had a mall. It was in Ashland, Kentucky, and they have an FYE, and I was like super stoked. Like I just ran in that place because I was a kid, man. Like you just
Mhm.
go in there and find anything you wanted.
Anything.
Just a shell of itself.
Was it that
The
bad?
music is just a little tiny rack in the back. The rest of it, merch, just Funko Pops.
Yep.
What's that new thing, kids? The Squishmallows.
Yes.
And
Squishmallows.
like overly inflated box sets of movies and stuff that are like I could go on eBay or like Amazon and find for half the price. But it's just I don't know. We're going in a weird direction from the physical to the digital world, and I don't like it.
We definitely are. I was going to actually tell you that there's an FYE in Parkersburg Mall now too.
They brought FYE back into
Yeah.
the Parkersburg Mall.
Yep, and you're correct about the music part. It's like 2 or 3 bins right beside.
So FYE's trying to come back then,
Yep, come back
because
alive.
they used to have one. I believe it was in the Parkersburg Mall because I went there so many times, and like if you look behind you, all the CDs I got down there, most of them come from FYE back in the day.
Well, I
They're
mean,
all beat up from my high school days.
they're selling records again too.
Yeah, vinyl's coming back. I've collected vinyl for a little while off and on.
I'm
but
glad about it.
yeah,
I really am. It's really cool.
I love physical, man,
Me too.
and I think the old school vinyl just sounds amazing.
It does. Just as long as you keep it in good condition, of
Yeah,
course.
you keep them clean.
because it's just that needle on the vinyl just sounds amazing.
A
once
little
it
crackle
starts up.
pop.
Exactly, just makes you sound retro, and it just brings back memories.
It's raw. You know,
Exactly,
it's
it's
not
amazing.
flipping on the iPod or going on Spotify, which I
Yeah.
like Spotify, but it's the realism. You know, you're
Yeah.
there, you're looking at it.
Yeah, I think.
Something had to etch that to make them put the music into
Have you
that.
looked into like the videos, like how they make the vinyls too?
Yeah, it's cool.
It's insane.
It's cool. It's a lot of money. Not
Oh,
just any normal person could do it.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like we've been talking about as a band putting out vinyls, but like to get probably 50, we'd be paying like $1.5 grand just for 50 vinyls.
Yeah,
I mean, it depends on where you go to different
it's
places,
tough.
but we've priced it. They
If
are
you had
pricey.
vinyl, I'd buy a vinyl off of you
We're working towards
just
it.
to
I
have
mean,
it.
it's
You
just
know, I love vinyl.
collectibles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have had some like fans and like friends like want signed CDs and stuff.
Mhm.
So I mean, we've went out of our way to do that for people too.
Well, I'm
No,
gonna.
I haven't.
I'm going to.
What was that, Jason?
Yeah, I've been waiting for like almost a half a year. Well, no, actually, it's almost been a whole year since you guys dropped a CD.
Don't
I've been waiting for a signature on a CD or just a CD in general.
don't worry, Jason. I've been waiting probably a little longer than that.
I
But
believe it. They were really bad about it.
see,
yeah.
the thing is, I'm gonna have Sexy Steve and Vitamin D on here in a couple episodes from now, which I have planned. And I better have a signed CD laying on the table when I have them on here,
Me too.
giving them all kinds of credit for their podcast.
Bring it for both co-hosts. You know, I mean that's the best way to get good over here.
Yeah,
Listen.
yeah. Bring one for my co-host.
Listen, I have band practice on Tuesday. I will try my best to remember to bring you both fully signed CDs. Nah? How's that sound?
I bet he won't do it.
I bet he won't either. He'll be like, "Oh darn, I forgot."
The good thing is we have this recorded, so we'll know.
I said try my
And
best.
everybody's gonna hear it.
I cannot make guarantees, but I will try my best.
You remember how a long time ago I called you on your own podcast about this? A long time ago I said, guys, the next time I'm on here, I still won't have that CD. I was on here about a week ago. Still don't have that CD. I was right.
And what kills me is like, where Jason's a part of the wrestling, like the Top Notch Wrestling Alliance too. So I see Jason constant, like literally every day of my life. I'm running into Jason at some point.
I see you guys every day because you work at a store I visit every day.
Yeah, and you're walking around with handsfuls of onions for some reason.
Hey, no, that was green onions.
Yeah, Black Friday. event.
That was called late night
Everyone's
run
in
to the
there
store.
rushing to get TVs and towels and all this stuff. Here comes Dylan walking out with a handful of onions.
I can't help it. My wife needed to make a cheese ball. I'm not telling her no the night before Thanksgiving.
But why don't you have like 3 pounds of sausage?
3 pounds of sausage?
Yeah, why don't you have 3 pounds of sausage?
Well, we'll find out when this is over.
Oh, okay.
I'm
feeling
making
a little hungry,
jambalaya,
I'm-
dude.
I was gonna say I'm
Don't
getting
get weird
hungry.
with it.
I said I was getting hungry. You just didn't let me speak.
I have lasagna in the kitchen. I told you guys to get some.
Hey, listen, we got Stofers in this house, okay?
It's not, actually. I cheaped out this
What?
time. I got the great value.
Ooh.
Lame.
I know. It's still good, though.
I mean, it's not bad.
And there's breadsticks.
Okay, completely side note. I will say I do like some great value. Because, I mean, a lot of times you can tell that they don't really care how much they put into it. Like, say if you get, like great value chips, like, say, knockoff Doritos or something, like, those things are just, like, pieces of dust. That's how much Dorito dust is
Yeah,
in
a little
there.
bit extra, a little bit more than normal red 40 in it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then at the very
delicious.
bottom right, it says, this may cause cancer.
Delicious.
Yeah,
I
delicious.
was gonna say cancer always tasted good. Whenever it came to food.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
I don't know about all that.
But, that was weird. But, let's wrap it up here. We're getting at the hour 17-minute here. Jason's losing it.
He's losing
But
it.
yeah, that was the pilot episode. We talked about our gaming and what we liked, and I think it sounded really good.
I hope it sounded really good.
Hopefully, we can get Steven on here a little bit more when he's free and
Yeah.
not playing Stardew
I
Valley.
was gonna say Stardew Valley. Hopefully Adrian will let him off the leash every once in a while.
Listen, I'm feeling some hostility in the room. So
Oh no, you're about to feel it.
I don't know. I think Adriana would like a peaceful sleep every once in a while.
yeah, I mean, listen, I tell her she can go home. I'm like, yeah, COD, you know, and she's like, oh, but we're doing so good. One more day, and the one more day turns into 6 more days, and it just keeps going. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, hopefully, I will be playing tonight if you guys are available.
I definitely will be.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to sit here and mess with this a little bit. And, but yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm still not prestiging.
And it's okay. We'll bully you a little bit more about it. Not to get you to prestige, just to pick on you. Because that's what you got to do as a boy.
But to wrap this up, this was our pilot episode, Twisted Conversations.
Yep.
I think here in the next week or so we'll have another episode. I don't know if Steven will be here or not.
If not, me and you always have each
Oh
other
yeah,
here.
actually, we will have him again because we gotta have that signed CD,
Oh yeah,
and we're gonna have
true.
Vitamin D here this time.
Yeah. Then we have another victim of the podcast.
I mean, it's been fun. I'm glad you guys included me, especially on the pilot. Like,
Yeah.
everyone goes back, they're like, oh, well, it's going to be the pilot episode. Let's listen to that. And then you have me over here like, I'm Sexy Steve. Check
Yeah.
out my wrestling. Check out my podcast.
Instant
So
pause and exit.
They're like, well, that's enough of that.
One good thing about it, we can always go back and just can't cut him out.
Yeah.
If he gets too mouthy in the future.
What's going to happen is I'm going to turn it on and be like, oh, this is going to be great. All of my parts are going to be cut out. Like, you won't even have, like, anything with me. It'll be overdubs. Like, yeah, Jason, what did you think about that? Instead of me.
It'll be amazing. But like you said, this has been Twisted Conversations, and I hope you guys had a wonderful time listening to us on our pilot episode.
All right, guys. We'll catch you the next time. Thanks.